Hey there everybody, it's Mark Crilly. I'm back with another How to Draw video. I just had a huge response last time when I mentioned the possibility of doing a video about how to draw more realistic looking manga faces. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's just jump on into it. And I should warn you that this is not going to be a big line by line video where I talk about each and everything that I draw. There's just no way, with doing a realistic face. It would take me forever to do a video like that, so I'm just going to do some very simple, rough guidelines here to begin with, just to get the basic shape of the head right, maybe show you the placement of the eyes, and then from there we're really going to have to just sort of do a lot of it in time-lapse. But let's get going. So I've drawn this circle here, and I'm going to divide it about in half with a line going top to bottom. Okay. And I might have that line extend a little bit to help me find some other lines down here later on. This is just the top of the head, this circle, so we're going to have to draw a jaw line that comes down from there. But let's begin by looking at this and dividing from top to bottom this into about 3 equal parts. I'm going to make a line for this bottom third. And that is going to be the kind of top of the eyes. That's going to show me where to place the eyes. Again, bear with me. This is the most boring part of the video, just drawing these lines. But we'll get on to the good stuff in a minute. This one is pretty tricky as far as guidelines go. We need to take this line here and divide it into 5 parts. Okay, so just grabbing a sort of a middle section here and eyeballing it, you can hopefully come up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections about the same all the way across, okay? From here on, I think I just have to tell you that it comes from instinct, what I'm doing here. There's no super clear guidelines. What I'm doing is I'm taking down from that circle, I'm starting to do a sort of vertical line that goes at a little bit of an angle as it comes down here. And judging almost about an equal space from here to here and down, getting that space about equal, you're going to find the chin, the bottom of the chin, right around here. And I'm going to make a line coming up here that's sort of the jaw line, but stop before I go too much further with that. So our main thing right now is to place the eyes. So let me go ahead and zoom in and we'll get into the eyes. Okay, so we've zoomed in here and I'm getting ready to do the eyes, and like I said, I think it's best for me to just do this in time-lapse, but then I'll come back and talk about what I did once I'm done. Okay, so you can see how I used the sort of dividing lines that we had come up with to place the eyes. This first one sort of almost extends beyond the 1/5 thing that we came up with, and I've sort of foreshortened this one a little because the face is turning away from us. But otherwise, we are using those little markers that we came up with to find the correct placement of the eyes. And people will always tell you that when you're doing anatomically correct eyes, the space between the eyes is 1 eye in length. Usually you see me in these videos doing these very cartoony things, and the eyes can be all over the place, but if you do want something close to human anatomy, try to preserve that distance there. Otherwise, let's just move on to the next part of the drawing. We're going to make it the nose. And again, I'll do it in time-lapse, but come back to tell you what I've done. Okay, so you can see how the nose in this particular position breaks into about 4 different lines. We've got a fairly straight up and down line here, then over here coming off a little bit at a slanted angle. I noticed that sometimes this line down here at the bottom of the nose is drawn in a stronger way, a kind of a thicker line. And then it's really important, I think, to keep these lines for the nostril really light and simple. Don't start making giant circles here or whatever. You'll make your character look pig-nosed or something like that. Let's move on to the mouth, and I'll just go ahead and jump into the time-lapse and then come back to explain what I've done after it's finished. Okay, so you can see how I dropped the line of the mouth in there, and considerably more detail going into this than would normally be put into a manga style mouth, which, you know, usually they're done quite minimally. And that's part of the danger of doing a video like this. A lot of people will look at this video and say, that doesn't look like manga to me. And to be sure, it is not the kind of thing that people think of, really, when they think of manga-style illustration. But this really was based pretty closely on the line work that you see in comics like Death Note. And next time you look at a copy of Death Note, look at it closely, and you'll see that it's very close to real human anatomy. Just a few little things that remind you that it's manga. Say, for example, that the eyes, that you don't see the inside points of the eyes, that there's that white break there. And just a tendency to leave gaps in lines. That's another sort of hallmark of manga. Otherwise, let's pull back and start moving into some of the other things like the hair and the shoulders and so forth, and then we can kind of wrap the video up. Okay, so before I get into doing the hair, I'm going to erase some of these guidelines, and notice that you know, I did the initial guidelines with this Dixon Ticonderoga, which is very erasable. I did the other guidelines with, or not guidelines, but the final lines with this black Prismacolor, which is very difficult to erase. It's more of a permanent line type of a thing. So that allows me to erase only the guidelines and leave everything else there. But now let's get on with the hair. I'm going to put down just a few of the basic guidelines while I talk to you, and then finish it all up in time-lapse. I'm keeping the hair just a little bit above that first circle that I drew, just as it would be on the human head, and trying to work in fairly straight lines as I get a sense of where the hair is going to go. Again, this is sort of based loosely on the kind of thing that you see in Death Note, but I wasn't going to sit down and actually draw one particular Death Note character. I'm not really sure about the sort of copyright situation of doing a how to draw video like that, but rest assured, if you find this video helpful, it will get you some ideas about how to draw Death Note if that's what you want to do. I'm just going to add in a few more rough guidelines of where the hair is going to go for this particular character. Excuse me as I try to get my hand over there. And believe it or not, we're getting pretty near the end of this particular video. I'm going to draw just a loose indication of the lower part of the ear. I should do a video about how to draw ears. This is not going to be that video because his hair, conveniently, is covering up a lot of the ear. I'm just going to drop in a little bit of a collar here, like he's wearing some sort of a dress shirt or something like that. Notice that the neck in this particular pose is coming off around the middle of the chin, the line of the neck, and a lot of times male characters will have another line over there to sort of indicate muscles on the neck. I'm going to add a little bit of shading here underneath the chin. Throw in just a few more lines of the shirt. And then let's just go ahead and kick this into time-lapse to finish up this video. And then I'll be back to give you some final words. Alright, so there you have it, my finished drawing, fairly realistic looking anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some useful information in this video, and I want to thank everyone who has bought my manga series, Miki Falls. I greatly appreciate your support, and if you can't find it in your local bookstore, please remember that you can ask them to special order it. It always breaks my heart when I hear from people who say, oh man, I've been driving around from place to place, 5 different stores, I still can't find it. Please don't waste your gas driving from store to store. Just stop and ask someone at the store to special order the series for you. They should be very happy to do that for you, and if you do, please know that I am very, very grateful for your support. Well, that's about all the time I have for today. I really want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and please know that I will be back with another one real soon.